Hello, everybody. I would like to welcome you to Megan's World News Channel. I am your host, Special K Thoughts, aka Special K, better known in the world of Twitter. For those of you who do not know by now, Megan's World is a pro Meghan Markle podcast. We are supporters, fans, and stans of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, too. We are not monarchists. Oh, hell no. We are Meganettes. Okay, people, during this podcast, we're going to talk, and talk again about Meghan and Harry's interview with the queen, the true queen, Miss Oprah Winfrey. Now, I must warn you, a lot of what I'm going to say will be off the cuff. I'm not really going by a script, okay? I mean, I'm going to refer back to my notes every once in a while, but really this podcast is coming from the heart. You know, to be honest, I wasn't going to do a podcast about this interview. I really honestly wasn't. I mean, I was just so emotionally drained after watching it. Now that I'm in a right space, I figured I would go ahead and just add to the conversation. You know, I've been on YouTube, and let me tell you something. Everybody and they grandmama and they great grandmama is talking about this interview. I mean, you got podcasters who have never paid attention to Meghan Markle in their natural entire life, who have done a podcast about this epic interview with the queen, Miss Oprah Winfrey. Now, remember, people, just remember, these are Special K thoughts. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me. But I want you to know at the end of the day, I still got love for you, okay? It's okay to disagree about certain views when it comes to Meghan Markle, okay? Not all of us are going to agree, and that's okay. All right? There are no cliques in this fandom. I just want to express that. All right? I love you. I love you all. All right? Now, let's go on ahead and get into this. Oprah Winfrey. The real queen. All right, Oprah, you know, she pulls no punches. She gets right into it when it comes to the tea. Oprah asked Meghan Markle about the infamous British tabloid story in regards to her making Kate Middleton cry. Well, it turns out the opposite happened. Yes, the opposite happened. Kate Middleton is the one that made Meghan Markle cry. Now, it appears that what happened was during the planning of Meghan Markle's wedding to Prince Harry, Kate Middleton got all up in her feelings about the flower girl dresses. All up in her feelings. So much so that she must have said something rude and very hurtful to the point to where it made Meghan Markle cry. It hurt Meghan Markle's feelings. Meghan Markle, the bride-to-be. All right? Now, isn't that special? Kate Middleton. All up in her feelings. Got so upset about some little girl's flower dresses. I mean, that's just insane. That is not okay. That is not okay. What type of character do you have to make the bride-to-be cry while she is planning her wedding? Come on now. What type of character do you have? What type of mean girl are you? What is in your heart? What is it about little girls' flower dresses that would make somebody come out of pocket and cause another person to cry? Cause the bride-to-be to cry. We're talking about little flower girl dresses here, people. I mean, that is not okay. But the story was that Meghan made Kate cry all over the British tabloids, all over the British tabloids. Front page news. The headline, Meghan made Kate cry. Huge letters. I mean, the font was like 150%, maybe 250%. And they'd have a big picture of Kate Middleton next to that headline, looking like she was crying. Weaponizing white women tears. All right. Meghan Markle was Amy Coopered before Amy Cooper even came around. I mean, I'm laughing, but the shit really isn't funny, people. It's really not funny. Those of us who have been married, those of us who are married, we all know. We all know. We all know. I know you know how stressful it is planning a wedding. And Meghan Markle, she wasn't just planning any ordinary wedding. She wasn't just planning any special wedding. She was planning a royal wedding. And here you have the future queen consort, instead of being supportive, okay? She's being a mean girl. Kate Middleton, future queen consort, is being a mean girl to Meghan Markle while she's planning her wedding. But the story comes out that Meghan made Kate cry. Meghan made Kate cry. And everybody believed it. Everybody believed it. Everybody was quick to believe it. Well, not everybody, okay? But a lot of people believed the story. A lot of people believed that Meghan Markle was this horrific bridezilla that made perfect Kate Middleton cry. Guess who was the sorry royal rodent who broke that story? We all know who she was. We all know who she is, right? Camilla Tomney. Camel toe. Toe fungus. This is the same sorry individual, the same extra clown that complained about Meghan Markle only having 5 white women on the cover of the special edition of the British Vogue magazine, Forces of Change, that Meghan Markle guest edited. Yeah, that sorry ass clown. I'm telling you, that chick is a racist. Camilla Tomney, royal rodent. She's never liked Meghan Markle. You know why? Because she's never believed that Meghan Markle should have ever married Prince Harry. Why? Because Meghan Markle is half black. I said it and I'll say it again. All right? She's never liked Meghan Markle. But anyway, back to the real deal story here. It was Kate Middleton that made Meghan Markle cry. All right? Now, when this story that was written by Camel Toe first broke out, it was written on or around November 2018. Okay. Now, Meghan and Harry, they toured Australia October 2018. Remember in this interview, Prince Harry, he basically insinuated that there was a change of attitudes after the Australian tour towards Meghan. All right. And of course, Oprah, the queen, she made comparisons between Prince Charles and Princess Diana's situation. Right? Remember? Well, not everybody in the Sex Squad is going to remember because we have a lot of Gen Zs within the fandom. Even people younger than that in the fandom. I'm not an old person. I'm part of the Generation X. But I do remember, right, when Princess Diana and Prince Charles went on the Australian tour. I was a little kid. My mother, huge Princess Diana fan. My mom still to this day has PTSD when it comes to Princess Diana. My mother can't stand Prince Charles. Some of you guys out there in the Sexa Squad or in the Meghan Markle fandom on Twitter have probably seen me post about my mother's PTSD when it comes to Princess Diana. Okay. But anyway, Oprah Winfrey, she made comparisons about Prince Charles and Princess Diana tour in Australia. Okay. During that tour, Princess Diana became huge. Okay. And her popularity eclipsed Prince Charles. She became more popular than Prince Charles. She even became more popular than Queen Elizabeth. And that's when issues started for Princess Diana within the monarchy. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey kind of made that comparison. And Oprah, she came with it. She asked Prince Harry, was it jealousy? Did the attitudes change towards Meghan Markle after the Australian tour because of jealousy? Well, Harry, he didn't really answer the question. Right? He didn't really answer the question. But I say, of course, it was jealousy, people. Of course, it was jealousy. The Australian people loved Meghan Markle. I mean, they really did. That was a very exciting tour to watch. Okay. I think that's when I started to join the Meghan Markle Prince Harry fandom in regards to them being royals. I think you guys have heard me say before in the past that I have been a fan of Meghan Markle since her Suits days. Okay. When Meghan first married into the royal family, to be honest, and I think I've said this before on different podcasts, I was happy for her, but I was kind of like, how is that going to work? I mean, this girl is very independent. She's very successful. She's a feminist. She's half black. She's, involved in all these social causes, women's rights and women's equality. Is that going to fit into the royal family? But then I thought, well, you know what? If she's happy, I'm happy for her. All right. But back to this, like I was saying, of course it's jealousy. Of course it's jealousy. Remember the huge crowd in this story, right? And how about the huge crowd that was in Fiji? I mean, when Meghan made that appearance by herself in Fiji, they had to shut it down in Fiji. They really did, because there wasn't enough security for her. I mean, she walked like about 20 steps, and then she had to get in the car because there were just so many, people out there that wanted to see Meghan Markle, and she was by herself. Prince Harry was nowhere around. Okay, so she shut it down in Fiji. When they were in New Zealand, I mean, the New Zealand crowd went wild. They were everywhere, right? And you could tell that Meghan and the Prime Minister just got along, and you could tell that they had developed a really good friendship, right? And how about that epic scene, that iconic scene when Meghan and Harry go out on the balcony and they greet everybody? I mean, there were just people everywhere. That was an iconic scene. That scene was so iconic, right? Why? Because Meghan and Harry, they honestly looked like the future king and queen up on that balcony. I mean, just look at that picture. All of those people clapping for Harry and Meghan. Look at that. It's an iconic picture, people. But oh no, while we were loving it, while the fans were loving it, while the royal fans all across the world were loving it, those people over there in the institution and KP were hating on it. They were hating on it. I'm telling you, they were hating on it. Oh no, we cannot have the biracial American woman showing out the future queen consort. We can't have that. No, absolutely not. For God's sake, no. Okay, we cannot have the sixth in line to the throne showing out the future kings. For God's sake, no. For heaven's sake, no. So they're like, what are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about this situation? What are we going to do? All right. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some old ass senior relic that's still working at KP who went and got pulled out the Buckingham playbook. And the Buckingham playbook is that you pit Meghan up against Kate. You make Meghan the bad Duchess, and you make Kate the good Duchess. Kate Middleton will always be the good, clean, wholesome Duchess. You know, I don't care what nobody say. William was behind the hate smear campaign. He has always seen Meghan as a threat. Always. All dots lead to William and his side chick, Jason Kanoff. Okay? William, he's always been jealous of Harry. He has always been jealous of Harry. You know, William, fake ass William, I can no longer put my arms around my brother. Okay? That's a lie. All right? Let me ask you guys something. Have you ever heard William say that he loves Harry? Seriously. Have you ever heard William say that? I mean, Harry says it all the time. Harry always says, I love my brother to bits. I will always support my brother. Harry always says that shit. But have you ever heard William say that he loves Harry? Hell no. The Meghan made Kate cry story was a racial trope. That's exactly what it was. It played on the racial stereotypes that are put up against women of color, black women. You know, that racial stereotype that we're all mean, that we're all aggressive, that we're all loud and we're all rude, and white women fear us. That's what that was all about. Please believe me when I say KP knew exactly what they were doing, and that's why they did not correct the narrative. They wanted to use the old Buckingham playbook of putting two duchesses up against each other. However, in this case, they used racial undertones to it. They used a racial stereotype of making Meghan look like she's this angry, mean, aggressive woman of color who made their white queen consort, who is perfect, cry. That's what that was all about. Just like Meghan said, everybody in the institution knew that that story was a lie. They all knew it. Everybody, even the queen, knew that that story was a lie. However, they did nothing to correct it. Absolutely nothing. And just like Meghan said, not only was I not being protected, but they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family. But they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband. Just keep in mind, people, that Meghan made Kate cry story dropped 1 month after Meghan and Harry's successful Australian South Pacific tour. That tour catapulted Harry and Meghan straight to the top of the royal monarchy chain. And then bam, 1 month later, the fake ass story Meghan made Kate cry dropped by Miss Cameltoe. Keep that in mind. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into the next big controversy that was revealed during this epic Oprah Winfrey interview. All right, Meghan, she revealed that there were conversations and concerns with Harry about how dark Archie's skin would be when he was born. You know, Oprah Winfrey cracked me up. Oprah's reaction was epic. You know, Oprah was like, what? Now, you know, keep in mind, this podcast, I'm basically talking off the cuff. I don't really have this scripted. But, you know, Oprah, I think that she was more shocked that Meghan actually revealed that. I don't think Oprah was shocked that there were concerns about how dark Archie's skin would be. I think Oprah was more shocked at the fact that Meghan Markle actually revealed that. I mean, I know I was shocked. I was like, no, this girl didn't. Whoa, she like revealed that shit. Whoa. I was like, tell it, Meghan. But yeah, I mean, Oprah's reaction was epic. And then, you know, Oprah goes in and she's like, now who is having those conversations? and Meghan, she wouldn't reveal it. She wouldn't reveal who had those conversations with Harry. What senior family member, not a senior royal staff, but a senior family member, who was it? Who was having those conversations with Prince Harry about how dark Archie's skin was going to be? Who was so concerned about how dark Archie's skin would be? Now, I'm going to apply this to my own life, okay? I think a lot of people know that I am African American. I mean, if you go on my Twitter page, that, picture is actually me. It's me, Special K Thoughts, okay? So I am African American. I am of African descent with different cultural backgrounds, okay? American, definitely. One of my grandparents is Dominican, so there's different ethnic backgrounds, but my race obviously is of African descent. Now, within my own family, I have family members that are biracial. Okay. I have nieces and nephews that are biracial. And let me tell you, it goes from the lightest upon light to people who are, maybe caramel complected, to people who are a little darker, have a little darker skin. I'm talking in regards to my biracial relatives. I'm talking in regards to my biracial nieces and nephews. Okay. I have some nieces that are very, very light skinned, and I have some nieces where if you looked at them, you would think that they were black. You wouldn't question if they were biracial. I have some nephews, right? That it's obvious that they're biracial, and I actually have a nephew that looks like his last name would be Singh or Patel. Okay, I mean, he's biracial. His father is black and his mother is white. However, he looks like he's South Asian. I promise you. I promise you. He looks like his last name easily could be Patel or Singh. People would honestly mistaken him to be South Asian. Okay, so anyway, what I'm getting at is within my own family, there have been conversations about, well, what are the kids going to look like? There have been those type of conversations. Okay, it's like, are the kids gonna have blue eyes, or are they gonna have brown eyes like the mama? Are the kids gonna have red hair, or are they gonna be a little more on the lighter side, or are they gonna be a little more on the darker side? There were conversations like that. However, those conversations were filled with love and excitement. Okay, there was never a concern about how these biracial kids would look. With that said, now, I do have friends. I have one particular really good friend who is involved in an interracial marriage. And she's African American and her husband is white. And, she was upset. She was really upset one night. And she gave me a call and she told me that, that one of her family members expressed not necessarily a concern, but made a racist comment saying that they hope and they prayed that the kids would not turn out dark and have nappy hair. Now, guess which family member that was. Just take a guess. It wasn't anybody on her husband's side. It was somebody on her side of the family, her black side of the family, that made that comment. Okay? The comment was that I hope that your guys' children don't turn out dark and have nappy hair. So my point is, this is my point. Okay? My point is that not only do white people have those type of conversations, but we do it within our own communities. Okay? We do it within our own communities. I have a friend that is Mexican, a really good friend that is Mexican. And I remember when she got married to her husband, who was Mexican as well. And her family members were upset and didn't want her to marry him because they felt like he was too dark. I'll never forget when she told me that. Okay? And I was like, what? I was like, you guys are both Mexican. And she was like, yeah, but they don't want me to marry him because he's too dark. And they are worried about how dark skin the kids are going to turn out. Okay? So my point is that we all do it. Okay, we all do it. All right. I'm not necessarily saying that you personally do it, but what I'm saying is it happens within all communities of different races and ethnic backgrounds when it comes to interracial couples getting ready to have babies. Okay, we do it. Those are conversations that we have. Sometimes people express concerns about how dark the children are going to be. So why would it be a shock that somebody in the royal family would have done the same thing? Okay, why would it be a shock? All right. When you express concerns or when you say that you hope that those kids don't turn out dark, you're being racist. And it doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're Mexican. It doesn't matter if you're Indian. All right. You're being racist towards your own people. It's colorism. So yes, I absolutely believe Meghan when she says that somebody within the royal family was having conversations and concerns about how dark skin Archie skin would be. Okay, that's not a shock at all. They were concerned about how dark Archie's skin would be because they were worried about how that would reflect on the monarchy. They didn't want no baby up on that balcony with pigmentation. They didn't want a baby up on that balcony with pigmentation and a possible red afro. Okay, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. They do not want a baby, a toddler, a child, an adult in the monarchy that has dark skin, okay, with a title. They don't want that, okay? Meghan Markle married into the family. They were able to swallow that because of how she looks. Meghan is very ambiguous looking. Okay. When you look at Meghan, you don't necessarily see a black woman. You don't necessarily see a biracial woman. Not unless Meghan wears her hair in its natural state. If Meghan Markle were to wear her hair in its natural state, it would be more obvious that she's biracial. One thing that I notice about Meghan is when she wears her hair in a bun, okay, when it's pulled back, you can see it. You could definitely see it more that she's biracial. But when her hair is down and it's straight, you know, you look at her and you think maybe she's a dark Italian or maybe she's Lebanese or something along those lines, right? But my point is that they were able to be okay with Harry, marrying Meghan because of the way she looks. She's very ambiguous looking. They were okay with that. However, when Meghan got pregnant, those fears reemerged again because they know that it's possible that Harry and Meghan's children may go back to Doria's bloodline when it comes to the feature characteristics of their children, because it's very possible. I mean, all it takes is one gene, right? That's all it takes. So that's what the concern was. Okay, that's what the concern was. And Harry validated that, in my opinion. Because when Oprah asked Harry about those conversations and concerns that he had, you know, with that family member, Harry straight up said he wasn't going to reveal who the person was and he was not going to give any details about that conversation, and he will never talk about what was said during that conversation. So in my opinion, again, he validated to me that that person's concerns were basically coming from a racist point of view. Meghan Markle, to me, validated that that person was coming from a racist point of view because she said that if she revealed who the person was, it would be too damaging to them. Okay? So, I mean, it is what it is in regards to that situation, people. It is what it is. Now, Harry furthermore went on to say, which I was pretty taken back by, was, you know, he said that those conversations were happening, right, even before they got married. Okay, they were having those conversations before they got married. There was already concerns about what would Harry and Meghan's children look like before they had even gotten married. You know, Harry said it. He said right at the beginning, people were asking what would the kids look like. And they further went on to say that at the beginning of their relationship, or I should say when, it was obvious that they were going to get married, that there were already discussions that they weren't going to pay for Meghan's security. And they even suggested that she continue to work as an actress on Suits after they get married because there just wasn't no money for her. So I'm going to take it back to when I say that the royal family was able to swallow, okay, Harry, Meghan, Meghan. Okay. I mean, that's a loaded term, what I'm using. I look at it this way. They were okay with Harry, Meghan, Meghan. However, it came with a lot of conditions. Okay. And those conditions basically were that she is yours and yours only. Okay. Harry, that is your wife. However, she's not really a part of this family. That's the way I took it. Because if you're already telling Harry that we're not providing for her security, and as a matter of fact, she can just make her own damn income despite being married to you, who is a prince, that tells you all you need to know. Meghan really wasn't welcomed into that family. Okay. And I get that Harry and Meghan said that, Prince Charles and William and Kate and all them were welcoming, but it was performative. Okay. They were performing. That's what the royal family does. They perform. It's performative duty. That's what they do. Okay. They've been bamboozling the United Kingdom, the British taxpayer, for decades because it's performative. All right. That welcoming of Meghan Markle into the family was performative. They were acting. So if Meghan Markle was never welcomed into the institution, okay, AKA, which I feel the family, then of course it makes sense that baby Archie would not be welcomed into the institution, AKA the family. Like, duh. Okay. Okay. So, Meghan revealed during the interview in regards to Archie about the titles. Okay. The institution, AKA the family, did not want Archie to have a title. They were having conversations with Meghan while this girl was pregnant, letting her know, hey, straight up. Okay, straight up. Your child, your children will not be provided security and they will have no titles. Okay. And Meghan was really concerned about that because Meghan's like, my goodness, you guys have created this monster in regards to the press, about us, about my race. And, we've been receiving these death threats and I just really feel that my child needs security. That's basically what she was saying. She didn't say those exact words, but that's basically what she was saying. Okay. She had a serious concern about Archie not having security. Right. But then, Jesus, Meghan mentions that the firm wanted to change the current conventions, which would make Archie automatically a prince when Prince Charles becomes king. What? I'm over here sounding like Oprah. What? Like you guys really on some racist shit? I mean, damn, some racist bullshit. What? They wanted to change the convention, which states that grandchildren of the monarch get the title prince or princess. Okay. So they only wanted to change it in regards to baby Archie. What? Like, really? I mean, they on some racist shit for real, in my opinion. This is my opinion now. Now, Meghan didn't say that. Okay. As a matter of fact, I don't think Meghan even really mentioned racist or racism. I think she did it in regards to the British tabloids. But in regards to the family, she didn't. All right. But it's like, what? Okay. And let's bring this back now. Now, technically, and I look shit up, because you got to research shit yourself. Because you can't believe nothing that these British trash ass tabloids say. And you can't believe nothing that a lot of these British royal commentators or royal experts say. Okay, because I'm telling you, shit is always different when it comes to Meghan Markle and Archie. Okay, it's always different when it comes to those two. But I did some research, and technically, okay, baby Archie was entitled to have a title. Okay, not a prince title, but he was entitled to have the title of Earl of Dumbarton. Okay, because he is the great grandson of the monarch in the male line. And because his father, Prince Harry, has the title of Duke of Sussex. So technically, baby Archie is entitled to the title Earl of Dumbarton. But the institution said, no, he can't even have that. What? They are really on some racist bullshit. They didn't even allow Archie to have that title that he is entitled to. Okay? The institution said, no, no, that's not happening. He can't even have that title. Okay? And again, these discussions were going on while Meghan is pregnant, while this beautiful, precious, unborn child, okay, is in her stomach. They already letting Meghan know that he is not welcome. He is not entitled to shit. He's not entitled to anything that has to do with this institution. We don't give a damn that his father is a prince. He's not entitled to shit. He's not entitled to anything royal. All right, just let that sink in for a little bit. Okay? Just let that sink in for a little bit. So anyway, when Oprah asked Meghan, well, were you given a reason why, that Archie didn't get his titles that he was entitled to, and why the institution wanted to change the George V convention in regards to Archie automatically getting the title Prince when Prince Charles becomes king, Meghan basically said that there wasn't an explanation given to why. Okay. So again, Meghan did not mention race. I mean, she didn't mention that. But I mean, we all knew that. We all knew that. It had to do because they were so worried and they were so concerned about how dark Archie's skin would be. Okay? And, and Meghan, I mean, she did say that it was particularly concerning to her, given that Archie would be the first member of color in the family that isn't being titled in the same way as the other grandchildren would be. Okay? Now, she didn't say, right, that Archie would be the first member of color in this family that isn't being titled in the same way as the other white grandchildren would be. She didn't go there. Nope. Meghan didn't go there with the racism accusations. But I'm going to go there. It's racism. Okay? You have to be blind, deaf, dumb, a brand new, extraordinary idiot not to think that it was racism. Number one, Archie is entitled to the title Earl of Dumbarton. He should have that title right now. Okay? Number two, the institution was making plans to change the convention, which states that grandchildren of the monarch are automatically titled Prince and Princess. They wanted to change that because when Prince Charles becomes king, they did not want Archie to have that title of prince. Okay? Racism. The institution is a systematic racist institution. Prince Charles. They did not want your grandson to have the title prince, even though he's entitled to it. And right now, your grandchild doesn't even have the title Earl of Dumbarton, which he's entitled to. Okay, Prince Charles? Prince Charles. Prince Charles, you don't want to pick up the phone when your son calls you. And now you don't want your grandchild to have the titles that he's entitled to. So The institution, Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth, I mean, they on some racist bullshit. I mean, it is what it is. You can't tell me that Queen Elizabeth did not know this. You can't tell me that Prince Charles did not know this. You can't tell me William did not know this. They knew this and they approved it. All right? It is what it is. Now, during this interview, which I'm so happy that it came out, but, Meghan said that they were not against Archie having titles, right? And she also made it clear that nobody asked them to do the traditional photo op of presenting Archie at the hospital on the steps. You know that tradition, Princess Diana and Fergie, after they had their kids, they came out on the hospital steps and they present the baby to the British public. Well, Meghan and Harry did not do that. And remember, there was a huge uproar about that, right? Well, Meghan made it clear that they weren't asked to do that. Okay? Again, it goes back to the concerns about how dark Archie's skin would be, in my opinion. They weren't asked to do that because of that, in my opinion. Okay? They were scared that Meghan was going to present some dark-ass baby. That's why they weren't asked to do that. So people, let that sink in, because there was a huge uproar about that shit. I mean, it was a huge uproar. People were pissed. The British public was pissed. They thought Meghan made that decision. They thought Meghan Markle made the decision not to do the traditional presenting the baby to the British public, at the hospital on the steps. They thought Meghan made that decision. No, the institution made that decision. They weren't asked to do that. And the institution did not give Archie his titles. And, Meghan was like, I just don't understand why they didn't tell the truth. Just tell the truth. You don't want Archie to have titles. You don't want him to have security. And you did not want me and Harry to present him at the hospital, on the hospital steps, to present him to the British public. We weren't asked to do that. So just tell the truth. Okay? Why did they tell the truth? Right? I mean, they let those two get trashed for that. I mean, just trashed. It's like Oprah said, that's when the British public really started to turn against them, because the British public felt like that Meghan was trying to hide Archie from the public, that Meghan was controlling all that. No, the institution was controlling that shit. So, again, I just want to make it clear. Once again, the institution was controlling that shit. All right. And, I'm going to get off the subject of the titles, Archie not getting the titles. But I just want to make it clear, because I've been seeing these trash ass British tabloids writing stories saying that, Meghan's lying about Archie not getting titles. She doesn't know the way the system works, that, he's a great grandchild of the monarch. He's not entitled to any titles right now because he's a great grandchild, blah, 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 blah. Look, Meghan's not lying. Meghan is telling the truth. Meghan knows that Archie is not entitled to the title of prince right now because he is the great grandchild of the monarch. She knows that. Okay. She made it clear that the conversations while she was pregnant was in regards to the institution wanting to change the George V Convention, which states that grandchildren of the monarch are entitled to the title of prince or princess. They wanted to change that in regards to Archie. Okay? Let me dumb it down for you, for those of you who don't understand. And see, many Americans like me don't understand. That's why you have to look shit up yourself. You have to research shit up yourself. Okay? What Meghan is saying is that when Prince Charles becomes king, Archie is entitled to the title of prince. However, the institution does not want to allow that. That's what she's saying. Okay? So all you British trash ass tabloids, y'all can pick a mother you know what finger. Y'all need to stop lying, because people can look shit up themselves. Now, all the haters are going to believe whatever the British tabloids say. Okay. But I'm telling you, look shit up yourself because you can't trust nothing that they say. All right. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the part where Meghan discusses that, how she had suicidal thoughts and she was really, really, really struggling mentally. And the bitch ass institution didn't want to get her no help. Meghan revealed that life within the royal family was so isolating and lonely, and that she felt so unsupported by the institution, that she contemplated suicide while she was pregnant with baby Archie. Wow. I mean, when I heard her say that, my heart went out to her. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, my God, what has the institution done to this woman for her to want to kill herself while she's pregnant? Meghan went on to say that she raised those issues with the palace, but she felt unprotected by them. She went on to say that she went to the institution and she told them that she needed to go somewhere to get help. She told them that she never felt this way before. She told them that this is not her. She needs help. And what was she told? She was told that if she went and got help, that it wouldn't look good for the institution. She was told that she couldn't get help because if she got help, it wouldn't look good for the institution. And Meghan went on to reveal that she went to one of the most senior people in the royal staff. These senior royal staff, they're ghoul assholes. Okay. Obviously, these people have no feelings, right? I mean, obviously they don't. They're just a bunch of cruel people that work in the institution. Okay. These are the people that represent the institution. People that are heartless and cruel. Oh my gosh. I mean, when I'm talking about this, I'm going to get so upset. I already feel my blood boiling. And, and it's not, I'm telling you, it's not because I'm a huge fan of Meghan Markle. It's not just that. It's the fact that another human being that was pregnant went to somebody, right, and told them that they needed help. Somebody who obviously is in a working capacity that has the means and the access to get this person help. Okay. That person told them, no. How do you tell another human being who's in a mental health crisis, no, you can't get help because it would look bad for the institution? Like, how do you fix your mouth to say something like that? I mean, that's just cruel. That's just heartless. And I would feel that way about any human being who was in the same damn situation that Meghan Markle was in. It's not about Meghan Markle, okay? It's about this goddamn royal family. They're walking around here presenting to the world that they are a royal family of character, empathy, and family comes first. Bullshit. You're a royal family that is cruel, heartless, and gutless. You guys didn't give a damn about a pregnant woman who was carrying a baby. Forget the fact that she's within the royal family. It's the simple fact that she was a pregnant woman that was pregnant that needed some help. She needed some help with her mental health. And she was told no, because it wouldn't look good for the institution, AKA it wouldn't look good for the goddamn royal family. My God. But anyway, let me take a breath. Jesus. But yet the queen goes to church every Sunday. Okay, she goes to church every Sunday. But somebody within her organization that represents her told one of her family members who's pregnant that they couldn't get help when they needed help, despite the fact that they were going to kill themselves if they didn't get the help. Jesus. Anyway, Meghan went on to reveal that she told Harry what she was going through. Okay. She told Harry what she was going through. And, I have to admit, and I'm going to say it, I was a little disappointed in Harry. I really was. I was disappointed in Harry. But Harry said that he wasn't prepared for that. Okay. He said he was in a dark place as well. He said he wanted to be there for her. Well, damn it. I'm sorry. But I'm going to say what I got to say. Harry, you should have been there for your wife. You should have been there for your wife, in my opinion. I'm sorry. She was pregnant. Okay. And she told you that she was thinking about killing herself. So anyway, Harry went on to say that every day when he would come home from work, he would actually see Meghan breastfeeding Archie and she would be crying. Okay. Harry went on to say that, he didn't say anything to his family because that's just not a conversation that would be had. He said that, he felt ashamed to admit it to them, that Meghan was struggling mentally and she was thinking about suicide. He said for the family, this mentality thing, that's just how it is. And I'm sorry, but that's just very disappointing to hear from him. It really is. I mean, if you didn't want to go to your family, fine, then don't go to your fucking family. But get your wife some goddamn help. Okay? I love Prince Harry. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like he failed her as a husband. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel. Now, Meghan, she said that she sent out emails requesting help for her mental health. Okay. And she also said that she went to somebody in human resources and told them that she needed help, that she was thinking about killing herself and she needed to go somewhere. She needed to be placed somewhere. And that person in human resources, I think Meghan said that person told her that they felt really, really bad for her, but there was nothing that they can do for her because she wasn't a paid employee. Okay. But still though, get her the goddamn help. You still get that person help in any capacity, in any way that you can. Okay. Whatever that way can be, in whatever capacity, you still get that person help. Okay. I mean, that's just my opinion. So Meghan went on to say that she reached out to an unnamed friend of Princess Diana who talked her through her struggles. All right. She said that Princess Diana's best friend, one of her best friends, was there for her and helped her and was there for her and talked her through her struggles. And, Meghan was saying that, this friend of Princess Diana was very supportive. And if anybody could understand what it was actually like on the inside, it was one of Princess Diana's best friends. What if Meghan Markle actually killed herself? What if Harry woke up and found her dead? Meghan said that Harry held her throughout the night, but, what if Harry fell asleep and he woke up and she was dead? I mean, that would have been tragic on so many levels. Epic proportions if she had actually done it, killed herself. Thank God that she made it through. Thank God that baby Archie is here. I wished Oprah had asked her, did she eventually get the help that she needed? Just it would make me feel better as a fan. It would make me feel better as a human being. To know that she ended up, the end result was that she ended up getting the help that she needed, in whatever capacity that she was able to do that. But yeah, that whole situation right there to me just proves that the royal family, the British royal family, that whole institution is cruel, heartless, and racist. That's what they are. The institution is cruel, heartless, and racist. And that institution represents the British royal family. Harry and Meghan, okay, revealed to Oprah that they never left the family. They made it crystal clear that they never left the family, and they merely wanted to step back from their positions as senior royals. They wanted to have, or I should say, work more so in a minor royal capacity. Okay, the same way that Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice work, right? Those two women are minor royals. They still have titles, right? They have royal patronages, right? However, they have jobs. They make their own money. They don't live off the British taxpayer dime. That's the type of role that Harry and Meghan wanted. That's the type of role that they wanted. They wanted to be minor royals. Meghan even revealed that they offered to move to a Commonwealth country. She said that they offered to move to Canada. They offered to move to South Africa. They offered to move to New Zealand. Okay. And, Oprah asked Harry about the stories that he had blindsided the Queen by not telling her of their plan until it went public. And Harry said that he never blindsided his grandmother, that he had too much respect for her. And, Oprah asked Harry, like, where did that report come from? And Harry said it with his whole chest. It probably came from within the institution. All right. So anyway, Harry also revealed that, he had 3 conversations with his grandmother. It's not like that this was all of a sudden, like these decisions were made all of a sudden, that they had conversations about this, that these conversations actually had been going on for the past 2 years. Everybody was well aware that Harry and Meghan wanted to step back as senior royals. And why wouldn't they? Think about it. Why wouldn't they? It's like, come on now. Before Harry even married Meghan, you guys didn't want to pay for her security. You wanted her to continue to work, being an actress on Suits. So wouldn't it make sense that they would want to just go ahead and step back as minor royals? It makes sense to me. But anyway, Harry said, it's not like this was a secret. This is what we wanted to do. We've been having these conversations for the past 2 years. I spoke to my grandmother 3 times. We had 3 conversations about this. I had 2 conversations with my father about this before he stopped taking my phone calls. I loved it when Harry put that in there, okay? Prince Charles stopped taking his son's phone calls. His son. But anyway, they went on to say, that the move to Canada, my interpretation was that the move to Canada initially really was just to take a break. That they hadn't made any decisions in regards to, stepping back as senior royals. And what I mean by that was that the decisions were not finalized in regards to them stepping back as senior royals. That they were having these conversations with the Queen and Prince Harry to work out a plan for them to become minor royals. But then Prince Charles stopped taking Prince Harry's phone calls. He stopped. So Prince Harry said, you know what? I got to do what I got to do for my family. And we're off to America. It makes perfect sense to me why they would move to America. Neither one of them is a Canadian citizen. And Prince Charles, he cut off Harry's security. He cut off the money. So Harry said, I got to do what I got to do for my family. So off to America we go. I think Prince Charles cut off the security and the money because he really honestly thought that Harry was going to come crawling back. He thought that Harry would say, well, you know what, Meg, we got to go back. I think Prince Charles really thought that was going to happen. And that's why he stopped taking Harry's phone calls. And that's why he stopped the money. And that's why he cut off the security. Okay. See, these British tabloids want to cut off Harry's balls, but at the end of the day, Harry's got bigger balls than Prince Charles. He really, really does. Because if Prince Charles was in the same situation as Harry, Prince Charles would have came crawling back to Queen Elizabeth. He would have. If Queen Elizabeth cut off Prince Charles's money and cut off his security, Prince Charles would have came crawling back. Okay? So anyway, it makes sense to me why they moved to America. Okay? They had the support from Doria. Meghan is a American citizen. And they just felt very unsupported by the royal family. And Harry even says it. We would have come back if we had the support. If we were supported, we would have come back. To be honest, I don't know how Harry would have trusted his family to all of a sudden start, giving him and Meghan support if they had returned back as working royals. That wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. As a matter of fact, I think it would have gotten worse if they would have went back. I really, really do. So Oprah asked, she asked Harry what his relationship was like with Prince Charles now. Is Prince Charles taking your phone calls, Harry? And Harry said yes, that Prince Charles was taking his phone calls and, that they talk. However, the relationship, there was a lot of hurt there with the relationship. And that Harry felt that it was going to take some time, before their relationship mended. But he was committed to, working on his relationship with his father. And, he just said that there was a lot of hurt there and that his father has gone through a similar type of pain that he has. And, that he just felt really let down by Prince Charles, and that Archie is your grandson, and Harry was saying that he felt really let down by Prince Charles. However, he was committed to mending that relationship. And Oprah asked about William, and Harry was like, there's space between us. Right now, it's space. And then Harry went on saying the same old bullshit about how much he loves his brother and yada, yada, yada. But there's space. All I'm saying is that what Harry said about Prince Charles was nowhere near what he said about mending a relationship with William. Harry probably needs space from William because, he doesn't want to have another conversation with William about concerns in regards to how dark the skin tone may be of this new baby girl that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like Harry probably does need his space from William because he's tired of having those conversations with William about stuff like that. Okay? Yes, I do. Yes, I do believe with my whole heart and my whole chest that it's William. I really, really, really do. Remember the stories about William, expressing concerns with Harry about marrying Meghan so soon. He pulled Harry to the side and said, hey, can you slow this down? Do you really want to marry that girl? Think about it. But anyway, in regards to the security, Harry did say that when the security was cut off, that he made a plea that, his status was different because basically, he was getting so many death threats. There was a racial part to it. But, the royal family, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. You have no security. And it that part to me was so sad because like Harry said, they moved to America, right? And then thanks to the Daily Mail, I don't know if he actually named the Daily Mail, but like he said, thanks to the British tabloids, they put it out in the public where they were living at in America. And actually the Daily Mail had put it out in the public where they were living at in Canada. However, at least they had security in Canada. Okay. But again, the British royal family, they were like, no, we're still not paying for your security, knowing that this man was facing death threats. And poor Meghan, she said that she wrote letters pleading for them to pay for Harry's security or to reinstate the security. And they were like, no, we're not going to do it. Thank God for Tyler Perry, a black man, providing a home and security for a European British prince. Ain't that a bitch? Tyler Perry paid for Prince Harry's security. Wow. All right, moving on. This interview was just epic. We found out so much information in regards to this interview. Everybody has been telling and selling Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's story. And it was about time that those two were able to present their story and what happened. But in regards to the British tabloids, Harry makes it clear. He makes it crystal clear that there were racial undertones in some of the coverage. It was more than just catty gossip, is what Prince Harry says. And that is so true. It was more than catty gossip. The racial undertones, they were bringing out a part of people that was racist. And that's how come it was so charged. Okay. We all know it. We all see it. We see it every day. Okay. The racial stuff, the racial bigotry and that racial hatred that we see that is written about Meghan Markle, and Harry was saying that changed the threat. It changed the level of death threats. That changed every damn thing. That's why the security was so important for Harry and Meghan. We all understand that their status had changed. However, their status had changed because of Prince Charles. Prince Charles stopped taking their phone calls. Okay? So their status had changed. We get that. We understand that. However, the death threats were still there. They were still facing death threats. That's how come Harry felt like he still needed security. My God. Okay, so Prince Charles, you couldn't pay for Harry's security out your own pocket? That's crazy that he would put his son in danger like that. He put his son and his grandson in danger like that. Prince Charles is a punk ass bitch. He really, really is. But what Meghan said in regards to the British tabloids, she said it's one thing to be rude. Okay? It's one thing to be rude, but rude and racist are not the same. And she's exactly right. It's not. Rude and racist are not the same. And they were definitely rude and racist towards Meghan. So, Prince Harry, he went on to say that he does not feel any regrets about the way they left. He just doesn't feel it. He just has no regrets at all. And he said that he is really proud of them. He says, I am really proud of us. I am so proud of my wife. She safely delivered Archie during a period of time that was so cruel and mean. My God. I got to repeat that. Meghan's World. I got to repeat that. Prince Harry says he has no regrets about the way they left. I am really proud of us. I am so proud of my wife. She safely delivered Archie during a time that was so cruel and so mean. And that is so true. Okay. And Meghan... Meghan says she got one regret. Meghan said her one regret with the royal family was believing them when they said she would be protected. That was her one regret. And you know what? I'm pretty sure she has more regrets than that. When she really thinks about it, when she's alone by herself in her own thoughts, she's probably has more regrets than that. Okay. Now, some interesting things that I thought were said during this interview, was that Meghan knew Princess Eugenie before she knew Prince Harry. Okay, she had already known Princess Eugenie before she knew Prince Harry. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I also thought what was pretty interesting was that, Meghan was never taught how to be a royal. They left her out there to dry. She basically Googled shit. She basically Googled royal protocol. She basically Googled the British national anthem. Nobody tried to help that girl at all assimilate to royal life. You know why? Because they never wanted her to be a part of the family, people. They never wanted her to be a part of the family. They never wanted her to be a royal. Okay? They weren't going to pay for her security, and they wanted her to continue to be an actress on Suits. They wanted her to pay her own damn way. Okay? So that's why she was never taught how to be a royal. She had to learn on her own. Okay? Another interesting thing that they talked about was when Meghan first met the Queen. She said that, she had no idea that she had to curtsy the Queen. She looked at it more so as that she was meeting Harry's grandmother. She figured that, when everybody is in their home, that they're just regular people. Okay, that's what she was thinking. She had no idea that she had to curtsy the Queen. And what cracked me up was when she said that, Harry taught her how to curtsy the Queen, and Fergie, was there and basically helped teach her how to curtsy as well. Ain't that some bullshit? Fergie Ferg, living with Prince Andrew, living high off the hog. She's an ex-wife, but she's living on Buckingham Palace grounds or Windsor Springs, whatever, right? Living off the British taxpayer money. Another interesting thing that Harry said that I was like, damn, he was basically saying that, when he was forced to flee Canada, he had no choice but to make lucrative deals with Netflix and Spotify to pay for his security after being cut off from the royal family. Okay. Prince Harry said that, hey, I had to leave Canada. I had no security. So I had to get an income. And, so I made, some deals with Netflix and Spotify. So he's basically saying that the Netflix and Spotify deals were nowhere in the cards. They weren't even thinking about stuff like that. They basically were trying to work it out with the royal family in regards to, can they come up with some type of agreeable arrangement in order for them to continue to work for the family, but more so as minor royals. And for whatever reasons, the royal family did not want that. And Prince Charles stopped taking his son's phone calls. Okay, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And Prince Harry also said that the inheritance that he got from his mother, Princess Diana, also helped them out financially. And that's why they were able to do what they've done. So I thought that was some really telling news that he told. And he also said that, he thinks that his mother saw this coming, that she saw this coming. And, when my mom heard that, my mom fell out. She straight fell out on the floor. I had to go get some water, and sprinkle it on my mom's face for her to, wake up. And but anyway, of course, the royal family, it took them a couple of days, but they responded to this epic interview that Prince Harry and Oprah did. And, the response was bullshit, of course. I mean, it was so general, but basically saying, I'm not going to read it word for word, but, I'm generalizing here. But they basically said, that they basically had no idea that Harry and Meghan had such a hard time. Okay. And that, in regards to the race allegations, that, that there are different stories that vary. Okay. But basically saying that, Harry and Meghan lying, and that Harry, Meghan, and baby Archie will always be a part of the royal family. That's basically what they said. And then I think a couple of days later, William William and Kate all of a sudden show up at some black, elementary school in London. And a reporter asks William, is your family racist? I mean, of course, William was going to say, no, his family is not racist. Okay. What the reporter should have asked was, William, were you the one that was having conversations with your brother expressing concerns about how dark Archie's skin would be? That's what the dumbass reporter should have asked William. All right. What's interesting about this interview is the fallout. I mean, the fallout continues to this day. I mean, the fallout is on epic proportions. I mean, it's crazy how you see the way people are reacting and acting in regards to this interview, like their actions in regards to this interview. Case in point, Piers Morgan. I mean, the way his bitch ass walked off the set just because somebody confronted him about the way he dehumanizes and vilifies Meghan Markle on TV. I mean, he just couldn't take it and he walked off. I mean, looking like a punk ass bitch. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. I'm not going to spend too much time on that asshole. I'm just not. So moving on to Sharon Osbourne. I mean, whoa, did you guys see that exchange? Okay. I mean, she put out some dumbass tweet defending Piers Morgan. She got trashed doing it, right? She got her ass handed to her by the comments, right? And then, she goes on the talk and she gets pissed off at Cheryl Underwood just because they say that her friend is a racist and that it's really not good to support a friend who is racist like that. You can support your friend, but you can also say, however, there are some things that I don't agree with them on, right? And what does Sharon Osbourne do? It's like she starts crying, right, on national TV, saying that she feels like she's in the hot chair and that she's not a racist, and then she tells Cheryl Underwood that she can't cry. Wow, it's like, really? Okay, so basically what she was saying is that my white woman tears matter. Your black woman tears don't matter. So don't you cry. Don't you cry, you black bitch, because I'm the victim here. That's what she really wanted to say. Okay, and now not Sharon Underwood, but Sharon Osbourne is underneath investigation, and now the talk is no longer going to be on TV for a while. I mean, which is fine with me because the talk was whack anyway. Now I want to move on to these black British people who are coming out defending the monarchy and defending Prince Charles. Okay, this is the way I look at it. Okay. And we have black people here in America who do the same damn thing. Okay. Look, when a black person accuses a person or an entity of being racist, right? And then you as a black person comes out and says, well, so-and-so is not a racist and neither is that entity or institution. Okay. My thing is that I don't have a problem with you saying that. However, you need to be careful with your words, black person. You need to be careful with your words because that is your experience. Okay. Just because that is your experience, it doesn't mean that the black person that is accusing somebody of being racist or accusing the entity of being racist is not telling the truth. That is your experience. Okay. Do not try to erase another black person's experience. We all don't have the same black experience, damn it. When are black people going to realize that? Not all black people, but when are some of these black people going to understand that? My black experience may not be the same experience as your black experience, okay? Not all black people experience the same level of racism, okay? That's why I hate the dark-skinned black person versus the light-skinned black person. A lot of dark-skinned black people feel that light-skinned black people don't really deal with a lot of racism, and that's not true at all. You may have a lighter-skinned black person that deals with just as much, if not more racism than a dark-skinned black person. We all have different experiences. We all aren't cut from the same cloth. We all don't live in the same areas. We all don't come from the same neighborhoods. Okay, so that's all I have to say about these black British BAM people, whatever they are. It's like, yes, you can say that, you know what, my interactions with the royal family, I've never felt anything racist, but that's been my interaction and that's been my experience. That doesn't mean what Meghan Markle is saying is not true. Okay, that's her experience. I am not going to erase her experience and sit here and pretend like it's not true just because my experience was different. That's all your black asses have to say. Okay? That's all. That's all. Either say that or just shut the fuck up. All right? I hate when black people do that. I hate when we do that to each other. I mean, it gets on my fucking nerves. Okay? I mean, I could easily say my black experience. To be honest, the last time that I was called the N-word was when I was in second grade. Okay, like to my face. That was the last time I was called the N-word. I would say as a black American female, I would probably face more sexism than I have racism. Okay. However, if I had a fellow black American female say, well, you know what? I faced a lot more racism than I have sexism. Excuse me, I'm talking fast. Sexism. Then I would say, okay, my black sister, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. And I would hug her and I would embrace her and we would have a conversation. I wouldn't look at her and tell her that she's lying. All right, Meghan's World, we have come to the end of this podcast. And yes, this is a pretty long podcast, but I had a lot to say. And, there was a lot more that I wanted to say. And more than likely, I will do a second podcast in regards to this Meghan and Harry interview. I've been on YouTube a lot and I have been reading a lot of articles in regards to this interview. And there's just so many different perspectives out there that I'm seeing. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't think it's good when all fans agree. I don't think it's good when everybody agrees. So just to see the different perspectives in regards to the monarchy and in regards to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry has been awesome. So if you haven't already, I need you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button that is in the bottom right-hand corner. Go on ahead and hit it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to end this podcast with a famous, and I mean a famous Meghan Markle quote. So here we go. Reflecting on where I came from helps me to appreciate and balance what I have now. I'll read it one more again. Reflecting on where I came from helps me to appreciate and balance what I have now. Meghan Markle. All right, everybody. I am Special K Thoughts, and I'm out.